Thank you very much. So I have the pleasure of introducing a sneaky preview of a very new feature coming to the PLS, and this is how to, and as Richard said, it's talking about methodology. And I think that's been mentioned a few times in the room today, but how important it is to understand how to teach a language, how a language is broken down. So basically how to, and that's what we're working on just now. It's very, very new in its infancy, and would welcome very much as well your feedback and your thoughts on how to develop this. So this has been being developed in response to sort of collaboration and work with teachers across Scotland who are perhaps new to learning a language, and without having learned a language it's very difficult to understand how to teach a language. So it's encouraging teachers to think about how to break down a language and how to present it in the best possible way so that it's engaging and meaningful for their learners. But it's also very useful for practitioners who are familiar with teaching a language and just who are keen to top up their toolbox and to have new strategies for embedding language learning. So that's where it's coming from. This part of the PLS will complement all the resources and materials that are already there. So it's to work alongside that. We have the content already there, lots of wonderful content, and this is the tool to support practitioners in really sort of bringing these resources to life. Our role as teachers, and I'm a primary teacher too, our role as teachers, I believe, is to instill in our learners a love of learning, and in our context, a love of language learning. We want our learners to ask questions, why are we doing this? We want our learners to be confident communicators, to be a citizen of the world, and there is no subject that lends itself more to this than language learning. So we want to ensure that practitioners have all the skills that they need to be able to bring language learning to life. So basically the how of teaching a language is just as important as the what. No, it's no. Thank you. So, yes, we need the content. Of course we need the content. The knowledge of the language is hugely important, but it's the knowledge of how to bring that to life that can really be the tool to inspire and motivate our learners. So what will this look like? So in this section there will be different themes. This theme that we'll show you a kind of snapshot of today is how to introduce new language, and we've divided that into 3 sub-themes where it's word level, phrases and sentence level, just to be really explicit and clear that all of those elements are important. So within each of those sub-themes, subheadings, you'll see videos, very short 5 or 6 minute clips of animations or video clips of practitioners from around Scotland actually demonstrating the strategies that we're explaining how to use. And alongside that, there's a learning log as well with sort of questions and themes for further study and thought should you wish to approach it in that way too. So time for a sneaky peek. The first clip that we have developed here is word level. It's about 6 minutes long, so we won't show all of that today, I don't think we have time, but we'll show you maybe 2.5 minutes of it just to give you a wee flavour of how it might look. Yes. Yes.
Here are 5 key ideas for introducing new words to your learners. Number 1. Encourage an active approach. Talk and play. Number 2. Support all learner styles, visual, auditory and kinesthetic. Number 3. Reuse and recycle key language. Number 4. Grammar, even at word level. Number 5. Adopt a spiral approach. Encourage an active approach to language learning by maximising opportunities for talking and playing. In the following activity, learners are introduced to new language by seeing how many mini-beasts they can remember. This memory game will present a number of different mini-beasts. Each mini-beast is represented by an image, the written word, and a sound file. Learners can watch and say aloud each of the images they see. The mini-beasts are presented in groups of 2 or 3 then repeated in longer groups and at different speeds.
Une araignée et une fourmi. Encore. Une araignée, une fourmi.
Why not use the same resource but in another way? In this context, each learner will be given a mini-beast word and or image to hold. Learners.
Thank you. So that's just a snapshot into the very first video clip. We have another two that we've developed and ready more or less to go live if you like. This is a very sort of basic one in thinking of to support practitioners and how to really get going with it, because for a lot of people it's actually, I've got these great resources, but actually how do I get started? So this hopefully will give people the strategies to do that. Other themes that we're considering I'll talk about in a wee second, but just to outline who this is actually for. So this is for independent study should you wish to log on for 5 minutes, top up your toolbox as I said, have a few strategies for trying tomorrow in class, or you may wish to use it in a sort of more collegiate approach, perhaps you and a few staff members from your school, or to have a more collegiate approach perhaps weaved into your staff meetings. Because as well as watching the video clips, as I said, there is a learning log that does promote sort of further study just to deepen or develop or enhance your knowledge of key strategies for learning and teaching of languages. So the type of themes that we are considering developing are how to use storytelling as a means of language learning and teaching. And as we know as primary practitioners, these are all the strategies that we use to nurture mother tongue language learning, so why not use that skill set, as Richard said, and transfer those strategies that we already have into the learning and teaching of the target language learning. How to introduce a song, how to really get your money's worth out of a song, the before, the during and the after learning a song. A lot of people teach a song and that's it, but there's so much more involved in that we can use. Talking about poetry, how to design an interdisciplinary approach, so that type of thing. But as with everything else, we really do welcome your thoughts and ideas because you have direct contact with classroom practitioners. If you hear questions and queries that are popping up that you think would be useful to see and to explore on here, then please do let us know. Thank you.
us on stage? Or just something that Nadine reminded me, linked to L3, which was linked to theory with Education Scotland. I remember discussing with you, Louise, and Fiona at the time, probably Sarah as well, but was, do the learner, and we're all aware of this, do the learners transfer skills from L2 to L3? We all, we take it for granted. Research says this and that, and but something absolutely incredible happened when we launched the pilot in Angus last year, the first part of the pilot, if you want. I taught Chinese, that's incredible. Nadine also did, so we had one class each, not at the same time. I started to teach Chinese in French. So all the instruction to children in Angus, northeast Scotland, a pretty remote part of Scotland. So these pupils, these learners are doing Chinese in French, saying that my mother lives in Brecon, that it was, but they were just following. They were just so comfortable with this. It was fascinating. So that's something we wanted to share with you. That we saw, we experienced. Absolutely amazing. So, quelle heure est-il? 3h30. Looking forward to continuing the journey with you. We had a plan. Do we stick to the plan? Or do we... The plan now, basically, is really to see if you can... Have you been able to reflect on... Would you like to spend maybe 5 minutes discussing around each table about what you've seen, what you've taken, and maybe keep 2 or 3 things in your head, and in 5 minutes people will be able to walk around the room and you give 3 and you take 3. How about that? 3, let's be ambitious. 1 plus 4, 1 plus... So, first of all, 5 minutes discuss 3 things maybe you've linked to embedding, linked to digital, linked to anything you've heard or seen today. And then 3 bits of information in your head. In 5 minutes, you'll be able to walk around, share these pieces of information with everyone.